Alright, today we got a special request from Viciously Delicious. He asked me to build him a base design for the Rathole he's built in, or the two Ratholes he's built in. So the first one is at Floating Islands. It's at 40.5, 25.8. So go to those chords. It's up here. To start off, make sure you place a couple of turrets on the outside just to stop people from looking into seeing what kind of design you've got. So if they come to raid you, they don't know what they're actually going against yet. And then the first thing you want to do is build a little bit of netting at the start. First layer of netting to stop bigger things coming in. Place 2 layers like I did. And then you're going to want these pixie sticks. I have a video on how to build pixie sticks. I will link that video in the description and I'll put it in the comments too. You're going to want obviously lots of turrets on the ground. Lots of turrets. Well, not lots of turrets, but a few turrets on the actual pillars themselves. Try and place as many as you can on the actual terrain so that it's way harder to destroy. I only placed 1 layer of pixie sticks, but you're going to want a lot more than that. Place them 3 foundations apart, so 1, 2, 3, and then place them on the 3rd. Build another layer, and then 3 again. Build another layer, just so it's way harder for them to get in and they have to do multiple rocket runs. If you can afford it, do them out of tech. Do 1 out of tech, 1 out of metal, 1 out of tech, 1 out of metal. Try and place Plant X if you can. I'm not aware if it actually might rain in here. You might be able to get water in here just from doing nothing. If it's a glitch spot like a lot of them are, it might be able to rain in there. So if someone can test that and then comment down below if you can actually fill up the crop plots if it does actually rain in here, and I'll pin that comment. But Plant X are very good for defense. They're very underrated. Not many people do them. You know, on a UT, maybe 2, if you can find another good spot for them to scare the PTs away. The pretty much only way you can raid this spot is by PT spinning in. But if you've actually got a defendable spot, it's going to be one of the hardest to raid spots on here. Have an in the open gen. They're very underrated. Most people hide their gens, but that makes them way easier to actually like line of sight them, get behind something. Like if you put your gen up there, people can PT rush in, hide behind something and blow it up. So I would always have 1 gen like in the middle of where all your turrets are. Make it the hardest to raid. So have a gen here, make sure you vault drop it. If you don't know how to vault drop, I have another video on a vault drop pillar, which is the exact same thing, exact same way to vault drop a gen. I will link that in the description too. What you're going to want turret wise is 65 heavies and 35 techs, because heavies are hit scan and the main way is obviously PTs. So tech turrets shooting PTs, because PTs are so fast they'll actually dodge a lot of the tech turret bullets, but heavies are hit scan, so they'll hit every time, so it'll melt the PTs way quicker and do a lot more damage to the PTs than the tech turrets will. But you're obviously going to want tech turrets as well. So I do 65 heavies, 35 tech turrets. The guy who asked me to make this spot said it's actually a decoy base, so I've not done a crafting station in here. If you do want this as your one main spot, obviously just build a crafting station. My crafting station designs are ass, so make your own. But even if this is a decoy base for you too, I'd put indie forges and maybe even a tech rep if you can afford it, just so if they like photo mode in, they think it's your main base. But definitely have a small TP in here so you can TP in and out to defend. Have your vaults with your kit stuff in it. If you're doing it for PvP, I'd make a little spot where you can fit a PT out through each layer of pixie sticks, so you can get out on a PT yourself and like go out and pick people and defend it. So find a spot where you don't think many people will get to, like here might be one, and remove this 1 pixie stick so that you can fit your PTs out yourself, but the average person, if they're PT diving in, they wouldn't know it's there and they think it's all going to be blocked, so they'd go for the middle so they can destroy it. A Dimorphodon flew in here and I tamed it to see if you could put helmets on it. which you can't, but Dimorphodons are actually... Oh, shit. Dimorphodons are actually a very good defense. If you have actual good Dimorphodons, even bred ones, even first generation Dimorphodons, if you just level them a little bit into HP, a little bit into melee, and have them all on aggressive, whistle to the UT, then they'll fly around here. If something comes in, they'll swarm a PT, and that'll actually block it. It'll get body blocked, and they won't be able to push through. But make sure you have lots of internals, even things like up here. Make sure you have internals so they can't fly past and get anything. You're going to want a gen here. Depending on how many you can get. If you only have one gen, I'd place it down there, because that's going to be the hardest to destroy, and it powers all your turrets. In this spot, I did place another gen at the crafting station. Where am I? So there's a gen underneath here. There's another gen up top. Another gen here. Where is it? Anyway, just place a gen there. Find good spots for your gen. Make sure you always vault drop them. Again, I'll pin my video in the description on how to vault drop. There's another gen. Place it there. That's a good spot. Vault drop it. Plant X if it can rain in here. If it can't rain in here, Plant X are actually very OP. You guys should, if you can, if you're going to be active, fill them up each day. Build like reservoirs, and then fill the reservoirs up by hand. And then every week or something, use like canteens and fill them all up, because Plant X are very underrated. Have UTs. If there's any other defense tames that you think you should use that don't block a lot of turrets, then definitely use them. I wouldn't put Gigas in here because it's too much of an LOS block, and you don't really need them because they're on PTs. But that is about it for this spot. I'll show you the next one. Alright, the next spot is at 41.4, 80.6. This one is very deep underwater. There's actually a ledge, so if you go to those exact coords, you're just going to go into the bottom of the ocean floor there. So you're going to want to go underneath and then go to the coords. If you have a lot of stuff already, place vacuum compartments like this. Remove the walls on them, open the walls on them, and then place the turrets down. A lot of you guys will know what I'm talking about, but place like 4 turrets on the corners and then remove everything so they shoot through the vacuum compartment itself. Place them all like that. If you want to know how to do that, all you have to do is place them off something. You can't place them randomly like that. You need to snap them off something. And then just within 30 seconds, pick these ones up. I'm not going to do that because I don't need to, but then you can just have them floating like that. And then if you want to place more, you just place them off this one. And that's a really good defense because it's 4 turrets per thing. So if they destroy one, it's not a lot of turrets, but it's a very good defense thing for underwater especially. There's actually 2 rat holes. This one's a lot bigger, but there's this one right next to it, which is a smaller one. But I don't know. If you're going to take that one and you need more space, you might as well take this one, I guess, for breeding or something. But this one, the main way to raid it is going to be bassies. So lots of netting. These are going to block bassies. I wouldn't build this out of tech because, for one, you can't shoot rockets underwater. So metal's stronger, and C4 is harder to place underwater because you're going to have to swim right up next to it and place it. So the main way people are going to destroy things is tech megalodon. So make them out of metal so it takes longer to destroy with a tech megalodon. I wouldn't do any of them out of tech. Build 3 of them so it's a lot harder to get the Bassie through. Bassie can't fit through these things. The turrets, you're going to want the opposite of the floating islands one. So you're going to want 65 tech turrets and only 35 heavies, because it's not going to get ran. It's going to be, it might get ran with a Bassie, but tech turrets are a lot better against Bassies. So I obviously have a lot of on survivors only on both of the spots. Block it off with 1 layer of vacuum compartments. I was going to say Bassie block it too. Place Bassies here, but they actually take damage because they're too deep. So I would go either with a Megalodon block, or you could do like maybe a Mosa block all into HP and put on passive. so they have to kill him, because you can't really kill him with a Bassi. You have to like somehow get a Megalodon here, and that would block the main way of them getting past your main defenses. So block it with a Megalodon block or Mosa block, Plessy block. You could probably do a Tuso block too. 1 or 2 Tusos here on passive. You're going to want 1 Tuso in here maybe, and then a couple of Sharks all level into HP for the bleed damage. Place some Baryonyx too, in case someone comes in with a tech Megalodon. You can swim out at them, stun them off their tame, and then your friend can grapple them in. Or if you're goated like that, you just get off the Baryonyx once you've stunned them and grapple them yourself, and then pull them in. Place your tech gen like this. What a good spot is here. You can't place anything on this ground for some reason. I forgot to mention in the first part, the way you're going to place all these is by placing a foundation on the wall, and you're going to have to try and find a way to snap things that give all of them foundation support. So place the pillars down here. This gives it foundation support. These don't give foundation support. So I had to build like foundations up here and along the walls. Find a way to give it foundation support, because it's a weird spot. You can't place foundations here for some reason. But place turrets on the ground. The 65 techs, 35 heavies, like I said. And then you're going to want a layer of vacuums above your Mosa block or Megalodon block or whatever you're going to block it with. And then make a bit of water, and then going to put your main base of vacuums. Make sure you place lots of internals here too, in case they do get past, inside your vacuums and outside your vacuums on the walls too. It's a very big spot, so you can have lots of breeding here. There's even an extra part here where you're going to want a tech gen. There's even like a tiny area here where you can put, I don't know, personal base or something to hide your personal loot from your tribe mates. Anything else about this spot? I don't think so. Thank you for the comment, Viciously Delicious. I've seen you commenting on a couple of videos. I really appreciate you liking most of my videos and subscribing and stuff. I appreciate it. Let me know if anyone has anything else they want to see. Let me know if you have another Rathole you want me to build, or anything you want me to find out, anything you want me to do at all. I'll be open to it. That's about it. And as always, fuck Wildcard.